sitting here by myself. I thought I would do a book review, but I can't find Joey or Duck or any of the guys. It's been a while, so maybe they don't want to do them anymore. I don't know.
Wait, did someone say book review?
Hey!
Hi!
Hey!
Duck's here too.
Oh, Duck heard book review. He can't miss a book review, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been a long time since we've done a book review. Too long. Hey, Duck he's too excited. All right, so, yeah, it's been a long time. We haven't done one for I don't know, maybe a year.
Ooh.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy to think it's been so long, but we're back at it. We want to do a book review today for you.
Yep.
What are we going to review?
Well, in my school library, they got this new book that was published 2 years ago, so it's very new.
Oh, great.
It's called A Babysitter's Guide to Monster Hunting.
It's a big book.
Yeah, it's a big book, and we're going to read the beginning, which is the introduction before the first chapter.
Yeah, here, I'll show. The beginning. Anything we need to know about this book before you get started?
Well, it's the first in a series of 3 books.
And who's it by?
It's by Joe Ballerini. Hey, that's our name.
Yeah, we're both Joes. How about that?
Yeah.
I was holding the page for you, but there it is. Are you ready? Hey, Duck.
The beginning. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. The 4-year-old girl blinked awake under her quilted blanket. She froze listening. Wide-eyed, a strange low singing oozed through the slats of her closet door. Papa's gonna buy you a mockingbird. She had never heard the throaty voice before, but she already knew she never wanted to hear it again. The closet door creaked open and the girl's white-knuckled fist tightened around her teddy bear, nearly strangling it. I'm no wimp, I'm no wimp, she whispered under her covers.
It's a little scary so far.
She closed her eyes and wished the unseen horrors away. The room fell silent. The whispering vanished. She drew the covers from her head. The closet door was open just a little. She didn't like it open just a little. It needed to be closed. Now. She took a deep breath, slid off her bed, and walked barefooted across the carpet to her dark, open closet. Then she noticed the smell, a combination of wet mud, rotten eggs, and 1,000 belches.
Ew.
Her socks smelled bad sometimes, but never this bad. The hanging clothes swished ever so slightly. Her sweaters parted. A pale hand slithered from the depth, stopping the door from closing. A figure emerged from the closet like an actor stepping through curtains onto the stage. Hello, little girl, he smiled. Fear rooted the girl's feet to the floor. She stared up at the man's wrinkled skull. The elegant suit jacket was covered in soot and corpse dust.
Ew.
Wake up, the girl whispered to herself. Wake up! The monster picked a cockroach from the strands of hair cascading down his shoulders and popped it into his mouth as if it were caramel-covered popcorn. You think you're scared, the man said. I've been in there all night, surrounded by your miserable sense of fashion, waiting for you to go to sleep. Horrible, smelly thing you are.
Oh, man. He said he was so stinky, but he said she's smelly.
He took a step toward her, and she saw that he had brown, furry legs, hooves for feet, and a ticking tail. Do you know who I am? The man asked her, placing his hands on his hips. What am I saying? Of course you do. Every child knows who I am. He flashed a vain smile. Bits of half-chewed insect stuck in his mustard-colored fangs. Ma, 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 the little girl gurgled. Ma, 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 Mommy can't hear you, my dear. She went out with your daddy. So hush, little baby, don't you cry, the creature sang. His eyes sparkled with flecks of gold. It was like seeing the Milky Way reflected in the ocean's waves. The little girl's eyes closed. She swayed on her feet, fast asleep, and tumbled into a large burlap sack the man had drawn from behind his back. Burlap sack the man had drawn from behind his back. He tied the end with a long red ribbon. There we are, he sneered. Just down the hall, Veronica Preston, a 16-year-old babysitter, was lounging on the couch talking to her on her cell phone with her boyfriend, Todd.
Oh, come on, Veronica.
I can't come over, Todd. I'm babysitting, Veronica giggled, absently pulling at the frayed hem of her jeans. And no, you can't come over either, so don't even try it, Buster.
Yeah, Todd.
Todd was trying to think of a clever, convincing response when Veronica heard a thud down the hall. Kiddo, she called out, you awake? The faint sound of something being dragged across the floor suddenly stopped. She clicked off the phone in the middle of Todd asking her what time the little girl's parents were coming home. The babysitter closed a blue spiral-bound notebook, opened on her lap, and placed it by her battered orange bag. She crept down the shadowy hall toward the little girl's bedroom and quietly opened the door. Kiddo, she whispered. Into the darkness, Veronica could see a large lump writhing under the covers. She reached out and pulled back the blanket. Read me a bedtime story, cooed the smiling face with snake-like eyes.
What?
The babysitter screamed. The monster sprang from the bed, dramatically whirling the covers away. Ah, yes, screaming is the highest form of flattery, growled the cloven-hoofed demon. The claws swiped at her long braid as the teenager scrambled down the hall to the kitchen, slamming the door in his face. He kicked it open and saw the kitchen was empty. Fast, little mouse, aren't we? Where are you, little mouse? He called playfully. As the monster sniffed the air in the kitchen, Veronica held her breath and crawled behind a couch. She hid while the creature stalked slowly into the living room, his heavy black hooves stomping across the carpet, followed by an angry, twitching tail.
Wow, this is intense.
Her backpack. She needed her backpack. When he turned away from the couch, she reached over and patted the brown cushions. His hand clamped down on her wrist and squeezed with incredible strength. I don't believe we've been properly introduced. He smiled down at her. My name is the Grand Guignol, known to many as the Boogeyman. The Grand Guignol said this with confidence of a monster that had lived for thousands of years and had seen countless poor, helpless souls cower in its presence. The babysitter, however, had a much different reaction. Nice to meet you, she said. I'm the babysitter, and you're not taking that child.
Oh, wow.
The boogeyman blinked for a confused moment. This was supposed to be the part where she screamed in terror. Veronica was holding two ancient Egyptian daggers with emeralds on the hilt. Then she lunged at him. She ducked, sliced. He dodged her swings and slashed at her with his long, grimy fingernails. They battled across the living room, claw, hoof, snapping tail.
Sorry, we had a technical difficulty, but we're back now, so we'll continue.
Claw, hoof, snapping tail against two blades and a ponytail. The boogeyman's smile raised the hairs on the back of Veronica's neck. His tail lashed out and whipped around her throat. She choked. It pulled her close. His damp, achy breath huffed against her cheek.
Ew.
I feasted on your kind for 1,000 years, he said. I'm the chill down your spine, the nightmare that wakes you screaming. I'm also a gentleman, but no one seems to care about that. The babysitter gasped for breath. The scratchy tail coiled tighter around her neck with a boa constrictor-like strength. Windpipe crushing, Veronica could feel her face flush purple. With each wheezing breath, she tried to pull away from him. Ah, the sweet smell of fear, he whispered. The girl clenched her jaw and cannoned her fist into his gut. Plumes of dust wafted from his black jacket. He gulped and doubled over. She unwound his twisted tail from her neck and spun away from him like a professional tango dancer twirling across the dance floor. Flashes of metal shot from her hands. The Grand Guignol stepped the flying knife, sidestepped the flying knife, and was already clicking his teeth in disappointment as the two blades thunked into the wall beside his head. Silver daggers? Really? He sighed. Do I look like a werewolf? Amateur. He clomped towards her. She ran from him, snatched her backpack, and trampolined off the couch. She dove out the window and into the backyard. In one swift leap, the boogeyman followed. Veronica tumbled onto the grass, landing awkwardly on her right side. A sharp pain coursed through her arm as she rummaged for something in her black backpack. She found a glowing vial and worked quickly to uncork it. Dark hooves slammed down before her. The Grand Guignol towered over her, pinning her to the ground with a cloven hoof on her back. Do you not just hear my speech about being an utterly brilliant, awesome, and magical creature? Pressed against the grass, Veronica struggled to look up at him. Actually, I did. That's why I came prepared. As the monster paused to consider the statement, Veronica rolled from under his hoof and swung her arm in a circle. He saw that the babysitter had poured a ring of twinkling blue powder on the ground, and he was standing directly inside it. Is that ring of angel fire your only weakness? Believe it is, she said with a smile.
Wow.
She lit a match and rolled away as the powder caught fire with dazzling sparks. A tornado of ethereal sapphire flames spiraled around the cloven-hoofed monster, trapping him inside its ghostly vortex.
We skipped a page.
The Grand Guignol slammed his fist against the shimmering supernatural wall. This is what the bottle of Ring of Angel Fire looked like. You can't kill the boogeyman, babysitter, he warned. Veronica's grin glowed in the rippling propane-like waves that separated them. The enchanted tornado whirled faster than the Grand Guignol, picking it up off the ground. I'll return, he howled, and you won't be able to protect her. Veronica watched the ring of angel fire ascend to the sky, stretching into a twisting funnel of light. With a faint whoosh, the vortex vanished into the dark clouds. A cool breeze blew across the grass. The babysitter glanced around at the suburban backyard, making sure there were no witnesses. Explaining things to the neighbors was so boring. It was 11:30 on a cold night in Rhode Island. Everyone in the sleepy side of town was most likely in bed. The babysitter reached into her backpack for a Luna bar and winced. She had definitely sprained, if not broken, something in her right shoulder.
Oh, that's not good.
Exhausted, she went back to put the little girl to bed. "Shh, just a nightmare," she whispered, soothing the little girl to sleep with her gentle tone. As the child nuzzled into her pillow, Veronica inspected the boogeyman's burlap sack. Fortunately, it was empty. There was no way she could deal with more kids tonight. She shoved the coarse sack into her backpack, then pulled out her blue notebook and flopped onto the couch. Inside the notebook, elaborate notes were scribbled around a drawing of the beastly boogeyman. One of the notes, circled in red, was possible weaknesses: silver daggers, angel fire. Squeezed into one of the last open spaces, she wrote, "Silver daggers, no bueno." Bueno.
That's Spanish for good.
Angel fire, big win. The lock on the front door clicked open, and the little girl's parents entered with a glow of two adults who had just consumed a moderately tasty dinner without the interruptions of a toddler. "Sorry we're late. How was she?" asked the woman. "The best," Veronica assured them with a kind smile. As the parents pulled off their heavy coats, the babysitter caught a glimpse of her two silver daggers sticking out of the wall. We read," she said, creeping towards her knives. She fell asleep. "I attempted algebra. Pretty chill." The little girl's dad closed the hall closet door and smiled. "I'll drive you home." Behind her back, Veronica discreetly pulled the two plates from the wall and slipped them into her backpack before following the dad out to the car. And had the little girl's parents peered inside Veronica's large stuffed orange JanSport, they would have seen it wasn't filled with school books and notes of friends, but rather with exotic weapons, the shard of an enchanted crystal, 10 vials of mystical potions all arranged in alphabetical order, and the blue spiral-bound notebook. Written on its cover were the words, "A Babysitter's Guide to Monster Hunting."
A Babysitter's Guide to Monster Hunting. That was exciting. Wow, what an exciting book this is.
And in the chapters, the main character is this teenage girl named Kelly, and she decides to be a babysitter to raise money to go to this super awesome but expensive camp. So, but she runs into a monster and teams up with a bunch of other babysitters to help save baby Jacob, the kid who Kelly was babysitting, save baby Jacob from the monsters under his bed who took him.
Oh, wow.
In the middle of the book, somewhere in the middle of the book, you find out that Kelly was that girl in the introduction that Veronica Preston saved from the Boogeyman.
Oh, wow. Wow, I didn't know that. That's really neat. Something I noticed while you were reading that this author does, he really uses very vivid words to make you picture what's happening in the story in your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you think so?
Yep. And the one picture, there aren't many pictures in this book, but there are lots of pictures, but most of them are diagrams.
Let's see if I can find one.
Yeah, some of them are just like best monster signs saying like best monster cover-ups, and they'll just as like a diagram, and some pictures are just like a profile of the monsters they find, so that's in the Babysitter's Guide to monster hunting.
So, this sounds like a really good series. You're still on this first book, right?
Yeah.
Your school just got it. That's exciting.
Yeah.
What do you so far? We need to give it a rating, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of it so far? If 10 quacks is great and 1 quack is not very good, where does it rate in the scale of quacks?
8 quacks. Quack, 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 quack.
8 quacks is pretty darn good.
Quack.
Are you excited to? I was excited to hear what happened next. As you were reading it, it was really, like I said, very vivid in my mind. I could imagine it.
Yeah.
And it also, I was really interested to find out what happened. It was exciting.
Yeah.
So, who do you think would like a book like this? Who would you recommend it for?
People who are adventurous or like mystery books or adventure books, because it's kind of a mixture of those two subjects.
Who's your favorite character?
I don't know. I think I like the main character, Kelly.
Good choice. Good choice. So, if you like mystery books or adventure books, this is probably the book for you.
Yes.
A Babysitter's Guide to Monster Hunting. First book in a series of 3 by Joe Ballerini.
Yeah, unless there are like more books in this series that I haven't heard about. But so far, like my library only says there's 3.
Okay, so there's at least 3 that we know of.
Yep.
All right. Anything else you want to add about this book?
No, I think we covered everything we need
Awesome.
about this book.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Glad we're doing it again. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Bye.